Hey everyone, welcome back to your week ahead astrology breakdown with me, Matthew from Still Water Alchemy. So happy November. These months just keep clicking by. I want to say before we jump into the week ahead that right now we had that Sun square Saturn aspect over the weekend. And now with Mars in the sign of Scorpio, we're going to have that Mars square Saturn in effect pretty much all week. With regards to aspects in astrology, there are sign-based aspects and degree-based aspects. So with Mars in the first few degrees of Scorpio this week, it'll be making that applied square to Saturn with it going exact on November 10th. So this may manifest in different ways. Even over this past weekend, you can see with the Sun square Saturn, you may have felt frustrated or stuck, or something with your identity, ego, or just overall physical energy may have been not as strong as you would have liked. So for example, I myself have had a wrist injury since the end of September. I've been going to physio, been trying to just do a little thing so it just doesn't hurt. And I was working out on Saturday, and then now my finger is like really sore. It hurts to move. And so with the Sun representing vitality as well, and with that square to Saturn, for myself, given that I am a Scorpio and Saturn is my chart ruler, I found it very interesting that I did feel very frustrated, very annoyed with the lack of movement or ways that I can personally work out. So see how that resonates for you, because I don't want you to feel frustrated if you feel like you've been putting in a lot of work and you haven't been seeing the results yet. And with the aspects that are coming through this week, there will be beautiful opportunities for breakthroughs and shifts. But if you're starting off the week a little behind or just feeling very tired, go easy on yourself, okay? That's what I want to start off with, because I want everyone to know they're not alone. And sometimes it can feel like when watching everyone else's lives that you want to be in that position or you want to have those results, but move at your own pace and make sure that you have the tools, resources, and energy that you need to get through the day and get through the week, okay? So if we jump into the week ahead, Monday has really nice energy because we have the moon making an exact trine to Pluto, that moon in Virgo, Pluto in Capricorn. So this may be the reset button that you need to really create that emotional shift, to get things on board. Even just little things like making sure that your fridge is stocked full of food, or maybe you want to do a cleanse or a detox or fasting, with the moon also representing the body and Virgo being a bit more meticulous with the planning and the details. So this would be truly the perfect time to create some goals, to see what's coming through so that you can start off November on a very strong note. And we also have Mercury still making that beautiful trine to Jupiter. So there may be some benevolent news, a contract, a gig, words that are just going to make you feel really happy. And I mean, if we're talking about this moon trine Pluto aspect, how you can use this Mercury Jupiter to really shift your emotions is to do some meditation, some subliminal reprogramming, watching TV shows and movies that bring you joy and happiness, whatever that is, to shift your mood or to enhance it. I would really strongly use the energy of Monday to your advantage, okay? When we get to Tuesday, now we have this moon trine Saturn energy, which is not bad at all. We do want to focus on commitments where we are going to set maybe new boundaries around relationships, given that the moon is in Libra, or just being more diligent with our time with regards to our family, our friends, our lovers, our work projects, so that the goals that we set at the beginning of the month, we have adequate time to initiate them and to perform them. And maybe with that Virgo moon on Monday, you do have specific physical goals or healing or rehab or anything that you really want to attend to, so that you can end this year off strongly, because it's already November. Very soon it's going to be 2022. So how do you want to use these next 2 months to your advantage? Tuesday, you might just find yourself really taking advantage of discipline and initiating new goals around your time. And also note, as we get closer and closer to that new moon in Scorpio on November 4th, we are in this dark moon phase. So if you need time to slow down, to take time for yourself, please listen to that intuition, listen to your body accordingly, okay? When we get to Wednesday, this is honestly one of the best days of the week. One thing that came really strongly for me would be to do some mental or spiritual healing. So whether that's getting Reiki, whether that's getting a reading, whether that's going to get a massage, something to move the energy around, like hypnotherapy, hypno Reiki, something where you can really take advantage of the rest, but also to heal on top of that. This honestly is the perfect day to do that. So if you want to treat yourself or just invest some money, please, please, please do so. The reason why I say that is because the moon is conjunct Mercury in the sign of Libra, and both the moon and Mercury are still making that trine to Scorpio, with the moon making an exact trine to Jupiter. And so with all of these energies coming through, there might be certain energetic downloads or intuitive hits that are going to come through very strongly. But remember, we're in that dark moon phase before the new moon. So in order for this healing, these energetic and intuitive downloads to come through, you need to be in a state to receive them. We need to slow down. And so if we keep going and going and going and going and going and think that we have to do more and more and more, sometimes taking that moment to recalibrate allows for the next step to be revealed and for the next step to become revealed as well. Okay. One just kind of intuitive thing that I was thinking about with all of this, especially with now Mercury within 2 degrees of Venus with the sextile, and then we also have the moon making a sextile to Venus, that there may be an offer of love or a secret romance, or someone emerges and professes their love. There could be something around that as well, where there's a really beautiful opportunity for reconciliation or for just harmonious conversations to be happening. And also to, with just everything kind of making these nice energies between Libra, Sagittarius, and Aquarius in general, your online presence might really grow very profoundly. So you might get a really beautiful message from a follower or a client if you wanted to put any information or knowledge, or even just being charitable in your business, your community, your family. All of this could be possible manifestations of the time, energy, and space that comes through on Wednesday. So really take advantage of that. When we get to Thursday, we have the new moon in, Thursday. Like, where am I right now? That time, space, energy. I was like, whoa, moving timelines. I swear to you, we're going to blink. It's going to be January. If any of you have felt that too, you're like, what time is it? Like, what timeline am I in? Or if that's just me, sometimes it happens to me when I'm doing some of this work or channeling. You're just like, oh, it's more than just deja vu. You just kind of get knocked into a different timeline. If that's happened to you, let me know in the comments, because it's happened to me a lot, especially recently with all this energy. November 4th, Thursday, new moon in Scorpio. What's going to be very interesting about this new moon is that it actually may feel more like the intensity of a full moon. The reason why I say this is because both the sun and the moon are in Scorpio. Scorpio is ruled by Mars. Mars is also in Scorpio, and we have the sun and moon, when that new moon becomes exact, opposing Uranus retrograde in Taurus. So unexpected revelations, things coming through, riots, protests, something where it's like all this fixed energy, but then something shifts that we're not going to be able to control, or something's going to come maybe more to a head or finally bubble over. Whether that's good or bad remains to be unseen, just given that Uranus, the planet of unexpected change and surprise, is not good or bad. It just is. So especially with Mars now within 4 degrees of Saturn, there is probably just going to be this hurry up and wait type energy, or you really having to decide what's worth fighting for, and if you're willing to put the time and energy into that goal or not. So I will be going over all of this in my new moon workshop, which will be available by the end of the day on Tuesday. So check back in if you're interested in that, and I'll be going through all of that for sure. But I will say it may just feel more intense than a usual new moon, just given the frictional aspects that are going on between Saturn, Uranus, the sun and moon, and Mars. Okay. The one thing I will say is that this is a final day of Venus being in Sagittarius. So once we get to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're going to see a lot of planetary shifts in the cosmos. And I think that compounded with the new moon energy hitting both Uranus and Mars, we're going to feel like we're in a brand new headspace. Whether that's good or bad, of course, we get to show up and use these energies to our advantage or not. But when we move to Friday, we now have Venus in the sign of Capricorn. And what's interesting is Venus is going to be in Capricorn until the beginning of March of 2022, because Venus is going to go retrograde in December, which we'll get to when that happens. But for now, especially for those of you who have dominant Earth energy in your chart, Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus, this Venus transit has great potential to benefit you very well in the matters of relationship, love, money, and beauty. With everyone, I would just recommend that you take note of what house in your natal chart is ruled by Capricorn, and that way you'll get a little hints of where this Venus transit can really benefit you during her stay, because like I said, she'll be there until March. So really understanding the house that is ruled by Capricorn in your chart will help you really receive a greater depth of knowledge of how Venus is working for you in that part of your life. And then this is also the last day on Friday with Mercury being in Libra before we move to Saturday, when we now have Mercury in the sign of Scorpio. So now we have Mercury, Mars, and the sun in the sign of Scorpio. And Mercury and Mars will be in Scorpio throughout the entirety of Scorpio season. So like I told you to kind of look ahead and see what what house in your chart is ruled by Capricorn, it would also be advantageous to look and see what house is ruled by Scorpio, because there's a lot of action going on there now. In addition to Neptune being in Pisces, we now have 4 planets in water signs. So during Libra season, it was more air, and now we're in that more water. So relationships, emotions, intuition, connecting in with those depths and the innermost part of your psyche will be elevated for everyone. And then again, knowing which part is ruled by Scorpio in your chart will give you more understanding. I will say on Saturday, we have Mercury making a sextile to Venus. So this is really nice as well in terms of potentially strengthening relationships around money, love, and commitment, and even just trusting your intuition on where the best areas of your life where you can focus on this a little bit more. I would really take Saturday and just a weekend in general to see where love, beauty, sex, art, how you show up in relationships, how relationships have been mirrored back to you. This can be a really beautiful time for you to heal trauma or stress or tension that you've incurred in relationships, whether that be friends, family, lovers, colleagues, the relationship with yourself, and how you want to use the rest of Scorpio season and even Venus's transit in Capricorn to your advantage. Okay. And then once we get to Sunday, I believe this is daylight savings on the weekend, so we'll gain an extra hour, which is nice. We can even see here that the chart moved to 8 a.m. as opposed to 9 a.m. But here, this is nice to, excuse me, we have the moon in Sagittarius making a sextile to Jupiter in Aquarius, which really just denotes joy, happiness, freedom. And then we still have this nice sextile between Mercury and Venus. And I mean, I can still also throw in this Venus, given that Venus moves faster than Mars. Venus is making a sextile to Mars. So there's a lot of good communication going on with a lot of these planets. I will say that, of course, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, Mars is making that square to Saturn, which is getting closer and closer. So maybe just a lot of this week, now that we're coming to the end of it, is really making sure that we're focusing our energy on what actually matters. And you're not really going to have a lot of wiggle room because you may even just feel tired or like you have a lot of things on the go, especially with this moon sextile Jupiter and all the aspects with Venus. So I would take the weekend, especially Sunday, to spend time with people that you love. There may be a lot of offers or a lot of things you could do. And there could also be a lot of opportunities to make money. And that's going to be the thing. There's a lot of social engagements happening. There's lots of plans and ways to forward your career or income streams. So I think that can also play into this Mars square Saturn, where you want to kind of do everything, but Saturn's going to restrict you a little bit to do the things that actually matter. But like I said, with the new moon, kind of feeling like a full moon energy midweek, take Thursday to rest and recalibrate and really just see what's coming up for you. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, with so many different planets shifting and moving into different signs and creating different aspects and different focal points in our natal charts, I really do think that that'll be another wave of fresh air before we get to the middle of November, which is also intense, but a way for us to grow, to alchemize, to really persevere and move forward in the way that we need to grow. Okay. So that is the week ahead forecast for you all to enjoy. If this video resonates, all tips and donations to support this channel are always appreciated. I'll put the link to our PayPal in the description. Also, too, if you want to book a one-on-one reading, I still have a few more spots left for November. I'm not going to really have that many in December just because of the holidays and some other gigs that have already come up. But please don't forget to subscribe for more regular astrology content. Like, share with other people that could also really benefit from knowing what's going to be going on this week. And please let me know in the comments what has manifested for you, what you're looking forward to in November, and what day specifically you're excited for to use, to grow, to manifest, and what you're expecting with this new moon. A lot of energy with this Scorpio season. I will say one last thing. Given we're in Scorpio season, it's a water sign. It can be very emotional, very intense. There is a potential to really go inward. In some ways, it can be seclusion. In other ways, it's for healing. If you just need that release and need to cry, please do so. It can be very healing. A lot of times we peg the criers of the zodiac to Pisces or Cancer, but Scorpios also have their soft side. And if you want a show to just restore your faith in humanity, I would highly recommend We're Here. It's about 3 drag queens who are very famous that go to these random small places in America and show just unconditional love. I feel like it's very authentic in the way that it's produced. There's high quality, and I just cry every single episode, and it just really makes me feel better. So given I am a Scorpio and I just can feel that there is going to be a lot of intense energy this month, if you need an outlet just to cry, but also to see humanity in its most beautiful form of just expressing love, I would really recommend that show as a resource if you need it. Okay. Thank you all for watching. Have a beautiful week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.